Hi everyone, this is Kenny here from Property Stories. So today I'm going to talk about these agents, the type of agents that you can choose to be if you choose to be in the real estate industry. Most of the time when you hear a lot of these agents, you ask your friends uh, whether you can help, whether they can help you to find property, but they will tell you sometimes, I only do under construction property, so I only got this location, and this location. So you want any of this or not? Or you ask your friend, can you help me to rent out my property in this location? Say, oh sorry bro, I don't cover that place. And then you ask your friend, I want to look for a house. Do you have any house that I can look at? Say, oh sorry, I only do shop lots. I only do industrial lands. Yeah, I only do auction properties. So you will notice that there's many types of agents with different specialization. However, in the real estate industry, when you come into a real estate industry, you will notice there's the only two types of agents. Okay, there is, because the transaction has only two parties. If it's a sale, then this is a buyer, this is a seller. All right. In some cases, okay, you can represent both. Or in some cases, you can represent the seller, the other agent bring the buyer. Okay, so this is a buyer's agent, this is a seller's agent. Or in real estate terms, we call them the listing agent. Listing agent. Same goes for rent. Okay, you have the landlord, you have the tenant. One agent may be on the landlord side, another agent will bring the tenant. So the agent is on the tenant side. So these two, sometimes you actually do it together lah. You are the landlord agent, you're also the tenant agent. So then you you complete the transaction, you alone lah. So landlord agent, same thing, is also known as a listing agent. Today we're going to talk about sale. Okay, the sale transaction. Rental is actually very straightforward. We are going to talk about the difference between the listing agent and also the buyer or tenant agent. So today, when people ask me to look for property, right, what I tell them is that I'm usually on the seller side. I sell the property. I don't bring people to buy property. Okay, so throughout the years doing this business, I realized that it's more advantageous to me, and I also prefer to be on the seller side instead of the buyer side. Why? Because when you are the listing agent, you control who you work with, because the landlord is in your hand alright, the landlord trusts you to sell or rent out the property, so you control who you work with. When you list the property, you can have 10 buyers. Okay, imagine you need to deal with 5 buyers and 5 different co-agents. So that one property you might have 10 buyers. But today, if you deal with a buyer or a tenant, the one buyer, 10 buyers, right, may have 10 different types of requirements and 10 different locations they want to look. Alright, or the tenant may have 10 different units they want to see, different places. So what I'm trying to say is that it's easier to find a buyer for that one property I sell compared to 10 properties for 10 different buyers. Alright, so that one property will give me more control of my time as well. You see, when you're a listing agent, you decide when is the viewing. So the tenant is a tenant on the buyer, the co-agent buyer is the one that will arrange. Okay, because you hold the key so that is why sometimes when you ask your friends or your family or people you know to help, right, it's not that they don't want to help, it's that they are not specialized in that end. Okay, so when you come in and become a real estate agent, this is the first thing that you learn as well, how to find listing. When nobody knows you go out there, you will ask people, you got any property to sell or rent? So that is where you started. And then sometimes your friends and family will say, hey Kenny, I'm looking for a property, can you find this property for me? So that's what I did as well. Okay, so I helped to find. And then I realized that as I go, this is the thing, because one buyer, they will work with a lot other agents. They want to see more choices before they decide. Okay, and you can show them all the properties that you have. They may not buy from you, but the work is done. The work is done. So 99% of the work you do, and then the last 1% they buy with another agent. There's nothing you can do. That is the norm of the industry. Yes, in some cases I've heard where the agent actually get the buyer to sign with the buyer's agreement, but I don't think we practice this in Malaysia, real estate in Malaysia. So that's why usually I don't work with buyers. I only work with sellers. I refer buyers out to my colleagues. I refer buyers, and when I say I refer means I don't qualify them also. I say, oh, maybe they say they want, let's just say Damansara, Mongkiara, Bangsa. Okay, so I will just do a like short qualifying, just short qualifying a template, then see, okay, what is it they are looking for. Then I will refer them to the agent to talk to. Refer here means I'll send the phone number and the requirements of the customer to the agent and see whether the agent want to take the case or not. I'm not in the picture. When go viewing, I'm not in the picture. That's what it means by referral. But if I'm the seller agent, I'm the listing agent. If you come for viewing to buy the property or rent the property, and then I have to be there because I am the listing agent. All right. Allow me to illustrate this concept of how the listing agent, as a listing agent, you have more control over the situation if you other than a buyer agent. Okay, so I'm going to use this toy here as an example. This one toy, if I want to sell, I might have 10 buyers, correct? But if I want to find 10 different toys for 10 different buyers, is it easier than finding one buyer for this toy? Alright, one buyer for this one toy is easier. That's definitely is. Okay, so that's how it works as a listing agent. So that's it from me for today. I don't want to drag it so long. I hope it helps you to understand. There's only two types of agent in the market. No matter what they do, there's only two types because the transaction has only two parties. Again, buyer, seller, landlord, tenant. Okay, that's it from me. This is Kenny here from Property Stories. Bye bye.